Oh, hey guys, how's it going? It's Morgan coming back to you with the Shlog. As I mentioned in my last video, which if you haven't seen, I'll put a card right up here. I am switching it to a weekly Shlog so that I can have some more focused videos on specific mechanic things and review videos on tools and parts for your bike and all that good stuff. So, so join me now for the weekly Shlog. I'm stoked to be back from vacation. Really psyched to get back to the shop. I haven't even been in there since we get back, except for to pick up the motorcycles to go ride with the kids. I'm really excited to get in there and get back at it with the angriest man, Mr. Zach Sheets. I know he's going to bring his full anger to bear on a whole bunch of work this week. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, stick with us. This is going to be a great day. I got to finish doing my social media things and all that stuff. Let's get on with the Shlog. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? So, as you can see, I'm standing here behind the desk because that's where I've been all day today. I've checked in an inordinate number of parts. I went and got parts from Davis, OEM parts. It's been crazy. Tons of people coming in saying hi, asking about my vacation, which is awesome. Of course, me being chatty, I talked to them about my vacation. Zach, the angriest man in motorsports, is back there hammering down and getting a ton of work done, which is super rad. But yeah, I've been here doing this. But first, I want to show you something. See those right there? Look at that right there. Those are rad. My buddy Gary just made those for sale. So if anybody watching this is around here and wants to have me ship them one, I'd love to. They're $40. He's hopefully making some more. Basically, all the spare rotors I give them to him, and then he makes stuff out of them. So it's super rad. Just a quick plug for my buddy Gary because he's rad. He makes all my cool stuff. Actually, let me show you something. Let me take a little break here. He's, like I said, a super good dude. And he made that right there. Says Highland Cycles, which is cool. He made that table right there. He made that bench right there. So he can pretty much do anything. He's made my favorite table, which is actually at my house, and someday I'll remember to show you guys that. It's super cool. It's just like a coffee table, but the legs are all two-stroke pipes. It's really rad. But yeah, let's check out what the angriest man. Look at that. He's back from vacation, bringing his anger to bear on tires and all sorts of things. Look at him go. He made a new friend when he got back. The manatee. I had to bring him something, so I brought him a manatee, hoping that a cute little soft manatee would make him less angry, but let's be honest, that didn't happen. It didn't work at all. He's still super mad. And poor Anna. The sad thing is now the manatee is going to be taken out on the manatee, and that makes me really sad. But he's going to be changing tires for the next 38 hours because we have a bunch of people going riding, and then of course the race coming up this weekend up on the plateau, so it's like tire central, which is rad. Got the free ride fixed. That's from an older video. If I remember, I'll put a card right up here for that video. We diagnosed that the stator was bad, and it was, so we got that fixed. That was awesome. Suspension's still out on the 450. That should be here tomorrow or the next day, which is super cool. We got a bunch of things apart over there. And I have to walk back up here and get more office work done and order more tires because we're going to run out. So yeah, today's part of the Shlog is probably not going to be, that's probably going to be about it, honestly. All right, guys, so amazingly enough, I am back in the shop finally doing some work, which is good. This is a good one. So you guys might recognize this bike right here, a little YZ85. It was just in here. We put a crank in it. There was all sorts of gnarly rust. Anyway, it was bad. Also found that the person before us had used a bunch of blue silicone as a gasket between the case. Anyway, it was a huge mess. Got it all back together, fired up, ran great. I rode it around, put a couple heat cycles on it, gave it back to the kid. Arguably, I did not ride it very far. I mainly just let it sit in here, warm up, cool back down. Anyway, gave it to the kid. Kid rode it. And when he went to shift above, I think it was third, it started making all kinds of weird noises. So fortunately, he's smart. He shuts it off, brings it home, tells his dad. Dad calls me. He's like, hey, man, there's something wrong. I'm like, what's wrong? So he comes back down, talks to me. And while we're talking, I remember something. This is an interesting thing. So it originally came in here for a clutch issue. Zach worked on it. We took the clutch apart. We got a new clutch for it, new cable, everything, like new clutch pack, not basket or anything like that. And in taking apart, Zach found an extra machined washer on the clutch side of things, and it made no sense, right? It was a washer that it was weird because it was machined and it fit the shaft perfectly, the main shaft that the clutch bolts to perfectly. But we couldn't figure it out because at that point I didn't know it had been rebuilt and all this other stuff, and we just thought it had a clutch problem. So we took that washer out. We put the clutch back together the way it's supposed to using the parts fish and all that stuff. Got it all together. Clutch worked perfectly, but it made noise. The crank was making mainly the left side main bearing was making noise, and all this stuff. So we split the case. Anyway, I think I have not taken it apart. There's the motor right there, but I haven't taken it apart yet. But I have a feeling that washer was supposed to go on the main shaft on the inside of the cases. And I didn't know that because, well, I just didn't know it. So this is one of those times when you own a motorcycle shop and you're just not as excited about the day as you would normally be, because now I got to spend the day taking this thing apart, ordering that part, because we pitched that washer because I just figured someone grabbed it and put it, I don't know, whatever. And figure what's out. I mean, hopefully that's what's wrong. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up other than not putting the washer in the right spot. Yeah, we can get it back together for the kid, but I'm probably not going to have that spacer and whatever. So it's a bummer for me, bummer for the kid. I feel bad because he's not riding, but we're going to get it done as quickly as we can and make it right, because that's what we do here, because we all make mistakes, right? This is mine. And yeah, we're going to take it apart. I'll show you what we find. Hopefully, like I said, we find that and there's nothing else wrong. But yeah, I'll check back in here when we get the cases apart. All right, guys, so we got the motor apart, and it's not good news for this guy. So I inspected everything again. All the transmission bearings are perfect. The shift drum bearing is perfect. Like, everything is good, because I was expecting, after you see what I'm going to show you here in a second, I was expecting to see like a ball from a bearing floating around or something like that. But if you take a look here, that looks good. And then as we rotate it around, not so good. Teeth broken off, and broken in a way that I've never even seen. I don't know, it's hard to even show this on the camera, but this thing is gnarly, and all I can figure is that it was super compromised before from whoever built this thing the last time and all the craziness that went on. And you know, I looked at everything in the transmission as close as I could see, and it all looked fine. The bearings, like I said, are perfect. They're actually, a couple of them are new for me, and I don't know, man, it blew up bad. So I gotta call this guy, give him some bad news, let him know this is blown up, and then see what he wants to do about it. I don't know, and then, you know, maybe rebuild this transmission. But I'm guessing that's probably what we're gonna do, because he's got a lot of money tied up in this thing already, like a whole bunch, and I'm sure he's just gonna want to go ahead and fix it. But we'll check back in a little bit. But unfortunately, right now I gotta drive to Telluride. I shouldn't. Whatever. I gotta go change a moose, or put a moose in a tire in Telluride. So this will probably be the last thing I do today here. So it is actually Wednesday, yeah, I'm gonna head to Telluride, change the tire, and then come back down here and clean things up and whatever, and get back after it. Mr. Sheets is on the tire changing, like full rotation again. Lots of tires, lots and lots of tires. So yeah. Guys, we'll be back here in just a bit. All right, guys, so we got a whole bunch of tires changed and all that. Zach Sheets is building this lovely 250XC motor, the one that had all the grime in it. I'll put a picture in here somewhere showing the grime. Zach is bringing all of his anger down on this thing and making a very good job of it. Look at him. Look at him. But now we're doing something that you don't really have to do on Japanese bikes. So I figure I'll show you how this works. So KTM crankshafts have, on one side it's a normal ball bearing over here on the right side. On this side it's this roller bearing, and it has this race that presses onto the actual crank itself. And so when you do new bearings, you have to get a new race. And so what we're using here is we've got a normal bearing splitter. We're going to tighten these down a little bit more to kind of make sure we get underneath there, and then we're going to push down. But what we want to do is we're going to take this socket, we're going to go, because what we don't want to do, show you, is push directly on the threads, because you might mess that up and it'd be bad. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this socket, it's 14 millimeter, I'm going to slide it over, and now we're pushing on this tapered part. It's a little stronger, and we're going to go super duper easy on it. We've got extra plates down here to help hold this. We're also going to hold up under here with our hand and make sure we don't let it drop anyway, but just in case it does, it doesn't go very far. If you're doing something like this and something goes south and it does drop even that little distance, you're going to want to check the true of the crank again. Not a lot of people have that. I do have a way of doing that. I really hope we don't have to. But we're going to do our best not to. And we're going to push that off, and then we're going to put the cases together. So, yeah, we're going to get Zach over here. So if you want to just go real slow. So, yeah, if you want to put your hand under, there we go. And we're just going to look. Okay, it looks like it's starting to move a little bit. So here we go, right here. Let's grab the blue wrench. We're going to heat that up as it's got pressure on it, and hopefully that will let it release a little bit before we have to push too hard. There we go. See how it did that? So that's all it takes, just a little bit of heat. Works pretty good. Now you can watch. Don't smash your fingers. We don't need any more anger. Well, there you go, folks. That works really good. So if you're doing this job at home, I would like to think that you've got a big enough toolbox and a big enough budget that you wouldn't be afraid to buy a bearing splitter. You do need something like that. There's really no other way to do it. I take that back. The KTM specific tool is actually really cool. It's this thing you put on it and heat up, and it pops. It's really cool. It pops right off. But you don't have to buy that. A bearing splitter and a press work really well. Again, if you're doing crankshafts in your motor, I would imagine that you're going to have the stuff to do that, or at least be willing to purchase the stuff to do that, because it's kind of necessary. But you don't have to buy the KTM specific tool. All right, let's get back to work. All right, guys, awesome day. I just talked to the owner of the little YZ85 that the transmission blew up in, and he is giving us a go to rock and roll and get that thing done, so I'm excited. I'll be able to show you guys how we rebuild a transmission. It doesn't happen very often because, honestly, motorcycle transmissions are pretty robust and don't have too many troubles these days. So, yeah, excited about that. I'm bummed that it blew up, but I'm excited that we get to do it. We got the cases back together on the 250XC. Very excited about that. So hopefully that'll actually go back in the bike and be running tomorrow, I think. Zach's doing that. And yeah, I changed a bunch of tires. So it's Thursday. It's time to go ride dirt bikes. I'm not going to be putting riding in the Shlogs because we're going to have separate Thursday night ride videos every week. So make sure you stay tuned to that. Or if it's already posted, make sure you check that out. I don't know, whatever. Definitely subscribe to the channel because there's stuff going on all the time. Yeah, I'm out of here. I got to go ride dirt bikes. All right, guys, it's Friday. We're rocking and rolling, and the awesome thing that just happened is we got that gun case right there, which means we got some suspension back from TBT, and we're gonna put it on this 450 SXF Factory Edition right there. Then that guy's gonna be ready to rock and roll, do some supercross and motocross racing here very soon. Mr. Sheets is getting ready to install the motor into that sad empty hole right there. And we're just gonna quick check in with Zach's Manatee right there. Zach's Manatee does not have a name yet, and so I'm figuring what we need to do is get some input. I'm not gonna let it completely be up to you guys because I don't want to upset Zach too much, but what's that?
It's my manatee.
It's his manatee. See, look at him. So angry. He loves that manatee though deeply. But we'd love some suggestions. So comment below suggestions for the name for the manatee. And then Zach, he'll probably come up with his own, but you know, I don't know. If someone comes up with a really good one, that'd be awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna get the suspension back on this bike and I'll check in, show you what it looks like. And then yeah, we'll keep going. Ooh, and the VMAX is back for a rear tire, so I get to test ride that thing again. So I might make Zach test ride it because it is super duper awesome. All right, guys. So I'm working on this little KX 100. It's a newer one. I think it's a 15 or 16. Anyway, just doing a service on it, changing the oil, cleaning the air filter, fix the rear flat. But I wanted to check in with you guys and show you something here that's super important. We're putting handguards on this thing, and amazingly enough, a lot of people don't do this right. And one of the things they mess up a lot of the times is right here at the end of the bar. If you look at the end of the bar here, you'll see I've got the grip slid past the end of the bar, and this is exaggerated, but what I want to show you is a lot of guys will have this out like that. Again, you can see the edge of the bar in there, and they'll put the bark busters on and they'll tighten everything up, and maybe it's fine and the throttle works like it's supposed to. Right now it's loose because I've been messing with it, but if you crash and you come in and you hit boom on the bark buster, it'll pinch this against the bark buster bar and either stick the throttle wide open or make it so it can't, you can't turn it. So when you're installing bark busters, honestly the most important thing to think about is getting this to where the throttle tube is just past, on just inboard of the end of the bar, so that no matter how hard you hit this, it won't actually pinch the throttle tube on the bar. So I know it seems super simple, but I've seen that messed up so many times. I've also seen it from dealerships when they sell a new bike and they put handguards on. They'll just take a unibit, which I've shown you how to do, and just go through the end of the throttle, on the right or the left side. That's no big deal. But on the right side, they go burp, and then they bolt it on there. And like I said, it's fine until you have one tip over and bang that thing in there. So just something to think about. I'm installing Enduro Engineering handguards on this thing. I'm pretty excited about it. Thanks to Brady Metter, who suggested Enduro Engineering. I still like my Cycras and the ones I run on my flex bars, but the Enduro Engineering ones do really seem to be really, really nice. So we're starting to stock those now. Yeah, get this thing done and show you what it looks like. The 450 already left. We got the suspension back on that. He's going to ride it. He's super psyched. So yeah, get this thing done and then we'll check back in. Zach is changing the tire on the VMAX, the venerable VMAX. I had a video of this earlier with me riding it and with huge smile on my face. I'm making Zach do it because I want him to test ride it and have a huge smile on his face. Try to get some of that anger out in the form of a giant smoky burnout or a huge wheelie. We'll see what happens. I don't know what he's gonna do, what he's gonna choose. I also don't know if he's gonna maybe take the Manatee with him as a comfort thing. Yeah, we're gonna get back after it. We'll check back in here in a bit. All right, guys, it's Saturday, end of the week. It's actually the end of Saturday, and I am just getting done prepping Daisy here for the race tomorrow. We're going racing with the RMEC up on the north end of the Uncompahgre Plateau for the Snowshoe Enduro. Super stoked. Stay tuned for a full race video. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Going to be running a GoPro for the whole race and all the stuff leading up to it. It's going to be awesome. Quick little overview of what I did to prep this bike. Obviously, changed oil, air filters clean and oiled, brand new tires because it's been raining up on the plateau, and I was going to go with the tires that were on it and just ride, but they're kind of hammered, and now that it's been raining and there might be some mud, I wanted sharp tires, so I went with my go-to favorites for racing, Bridgestone X30 rear, just an awesome all-around tire. Really like that tire. It's wrapped around a Nitro Mousse Platinum. It's on its second tire, so it's nice and squishy and good. And then my overall always favorite front tire, Bridgestone M59, also around a Platinum Mousse, Platinum Nitro Mousse on its second tire. It's going to be awesome. Put a new brake rotor on it because that was bent. Everything else is pretty good. Pipe's in good shape. Everything else is good shape. So checked all the nuts and bolts, and I think we're ready to go racing now. It's going to be good. I got my suspension all tuned up by Brady at TBT, and I got the clickers adjusted where I like them. So I think we're going to be good to go. Unfortunately, Angry Zach will not be racing because he doesn't want to embarrass everybody, is I think what he said. He didn't want to make a bunch of people feel really bad, so he's just going to take it easy. Probably chill with his manatee friend for most of the weekend. but yeah, guys, it's going to be awesome. Had a great week here at Highland Cycles. Got a ton of stuff done. Or at least Zach got a ton of stuff done. Hope you guys like this weekly Shlog. Comment below what you think about that. I know it's different than what we've been doing, but I think it's going to help me get a lot more reviews and specific videos done. So yeah, we're going to stick with the weekly Shlog for a while. We might go back to daily eventually, but we'll see. Yeah, anyway, guys, I love you. As always, I really hope you get out and spread the gospel of two wheels, and I hope desperately that what we are doing here at Highland Cycles is inspiring you to work on and, more importantly, get out and ride your dirt bikes.